Hey there, my friend, you've probably noticed that things feel tense around the Dallas Cowboys right now. The clock is ticking and Mike McCarthy's future as head coach is hanging by a thread. Can you believe his contract expires in just a few days, on January 14th? And to make things even more complicated, Jerry Jones still has a lot of decisions to make. You know, when you think about it, this is crunch time for the team. Everything we've seen this season, every win, every loss, it all leads us to this moment. It's not just about a contract. It's about the direction of our Cowboys. Will they stick with McCarthy, or is it time for a new face to take charge? But let me ask you something, what's your take? Do you think McCarthy deserves another chance? Or are you ready for a fresh start with someone new? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I'd love to hear your perspective. And hey, while you're there, let's kick off a poll. Should McCarthy stay or go? Vote stay if you believe he's the guy to lead us forward, or vote go if you think it's time for a change. Stick around because in the next part, we're diving into the relationship between Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy. There's been a lot of talk about those two lately, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Alright, let's dive into the heart of the matter, this dynamic between Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy. You've probably heard the reports, right? According to Adam Schefter, there's been plenty of football talk between the two, but here's the kicker: no progress on a future contract. None. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How do you have substantial football conversations without addressing the elephant in the room? If McCarthy is supposed to stick around, wouldn't extending his contract be priority number one? Or is this Jerry's way of keeping all options open, maybe even waiting to see if someone better comes along? Now, let's be real for a second. Jerry Jones isn't just the owner. He's the face of the franchise, the man who calls the shots. Some would say he's as much a showman as he is a businessman, but this indecision? It's not exactly reassuring, especially when you think about how quickly other teams are locking in their plans for the future. Here's a question for you. Do you think Jerry is stalling because he's unsure about McCarthy, or is this just his way of playing the long game? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And here's another one: if you had to grade the job McCarthy has done this season, what grade would you give him? B, C, or D? Cast your vote down below, and let's see how the fan base feels about our head coach. Looking ahead, this hesitation might cost us more than just time. It could hurt our chances of landing a top-tier coach if we decide to part ways with McCarthy. That's what we'll be talking about next, so don't go anywhere. You know, when it comes to running a team like the Dallas Cowboys, hesitation can be expensive, really expensive, and that's exactly where we find ourselves right now. Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy are still in limbo, and every day that passes without a decision feels like a missed opportunity. Think about it, while we're stuck in this holding pattern, other teams are out there making moves, interviewing top coaching candidates, and locking in their future plans. If the Cowboys decide to part ways with McCarthy, they'll be playing catch-up, scrambling to find someone who can step in and lead this team. Here's what worries me: the longer this drags on, the smaller the pool of available candidates gets. And let's not forget, the best coaches are usually snapped up quickly. So if we're serious about making a change, why haven't we started the process yet? Or worse, what if we wait too long and end up settling for someone who isn't the right fit? But let's flip the script for a second. Say McCarthy stays. This lack of clarity could still have ripple effects. Players, staff, and even potential free agents might see this indecision as a sign of instability. And for a team like the Cowboys, where expectations are sky high every season, that's the last thing we need. So here's a question for you. If McCarthy doesn't stay, who do you think should take his place? Is there a dream candidate you'd want the Cowboys to go after? Drop your suggestions in the comments. I'm curious to see who's on your radar. And let's do a quick vote. Is Jerry Jones handling this situation the right way? Yes or no? Cast your vote and let's see where everyone stands. Next up, we're diving into Jerry Jones' motives. Is this indecision part of a bigger strategy, or is it just about staying in the spotlight? Stay tuned. Let's talk about Jerry Jones. Love him or hate him, you can't deny that he knows how to keep the Dallas Cowboys in the headlines. But here's the real question. Is his focus on staying in the spotlight hurting the team's performance on the field? Look, Jeery is more than just the owner of the Cowboys. He's a businessman, a marketer, and, let's face it, a bit of a showman. And in some ways, that's been great for the franchise. The Cowboys are always a topic of conversation, always in the news. But when you think about this whole situation with Mike McCarthy, it's hard not to wonder if all the drama is just another way to keep the team front and center. Think about it: if Jeery had made a clear decision weeks ago whether to keep McCarthy or move on, we wouldn't still be talking about this. Instead, it feels like he's dragging it out, keeping the suspense alive. And yeah, that's great for headlines, but is it great for the team? Let me ask you this. Do you think Jeery is more concerned with winning championships or maintaining the Cowboys brand as America's team? Be honest, drop your thoughts in the comments below. Now, don't get me wrong, Jeery has done a lot for the Cowboys. But this isn't the first time his decision-making has been questioned. From coaching hires to draft picks, it seems like his need to control the narrative sometimes gets in the way of making the best choices for the team. Here's a quick poll for you. Should Jeery take a step back and let someone else handle the football decisions? Yes or no? Cast your vote now. Up next, we'll talk about what's really at stake here. Whether McCarthy stays or goes, the decisions made in the next few days will shape the future of the Cowboys for years to come. Don't go anywhere. Now, let's get serious. No matter what decision Jerry Jones makes, one thing is crystal clear: the future of the Dallas Cowboys is on the line. Whether Mike McCarthy stays or goes, the choices made in these next few days will have ripple effects for years to come. If McCarthy stays, it means doubling down on a coach who's had mixed results. Sure, he's had some successes, but can he really take this team to the next level? Or are we just settling for good enough? That's a tough pill to swallow when you think about the talent we have on this roster: players like Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, and Dak Prescott. These guys deserve a coach who can bring out their best and help us finally get over the hump. But if McCarthy goes, the stakes are just as high. Bringing in a new head coach means starting fresh, and that's always a gamble. Will the new guy be able to handle the pressure of coaching America's team? Can he build on what we have, or will it be another case of rebuilding and waiting for next year? And let's not forget, every decision Jeery makes is under a microscope. Fans, players, and even other teams are watching closely. If he gets this wrong, it could set the Cowboys back for years, but if he gets it right, well, maybe, just maybe, we'll finally have a shot at breaking this Super Bowl drought. So, what do you think? Would you rather stick with McCarthy and hope for the best, or roll the dice with a new coach? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And here's one more for you. If you could make one change to the Cowboys, anything at all, what would it be? Coaching, players, strategy? Drop your ideas below. In the final chapter, we'll talk about the clock running out and what you, as a fan, can do to make your voice heard. Don't go anywhere, we're almost at the finish line. Here we are, the final moments of this saga, and the clock is ticking. January 14th is just around the corner, and with every second that passes, the pressure mounts. This isn't just about Mike McCarthy or Jeery Jones, it's about the future of the Dallas Cowboys and what kind of team we want to be moving forward. As fans, we've seen this story play out before: decisions made too late, opportunities missed, and seasons that leave us saying, maybe next year, but this time feels different, doesn't it? There's an urgency, a sense that we're standing at a crossroads. The question is, what happens next? Will Jeery make the bold move and bring in a new coach who can reshape the team's identity, or will he stick with McCarthy, betting that continuity will finally lead to a championship? Whatever happens, One thing is for sure, this decision will define the Cowboys' trajectory for years to come. But here's the thing, you have a voice in this. As fans, we're not just spectators, we're part of the Cowboys' legacy. So here's my challenge to you. What's your message to Jerry Jones right now? If you could tell him one thing, what would it be? Share it in the comments below, and here's another question. For you, do you believe the Cowboys are on the right track, or is it time for a complete overhaul? Vote down below and let's see where we stand as a fan base. At the end of the day, we all want the same thing, a team that can go the distance, win championships, and make us proud to wear that star. The decisions being made right now will determine if that dream becomes a reality or if we're left waiting once again. So stay tuned, stay vocal, and let's keep the conversation going. Together, we can show Jerry Jones and the Cowboys organization what this fan base truly wants. Thanks for sticking with me through this journey, and as always, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any updates. Let's see what happens next, Cowboys Nation.